I've got something to admit. Until until this past weekend, I had never been to a convention before. I I don't really have an explanation for that. I kind of just don't really go to places very often. But this past weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I think I need to go to more conventions because that was pretty cool. So, now, for those of you who don't know, the Midwest Gaming Classic is pretty much one of the largest gaming conventions in the Midwestern United States. It has content from pretty much anything gaming. So, we've got video games, tabletop games, card games, live action roleplay, cosplay, all of that general sort of stuff. It was pretty cool to see. Anyway, my adventure started at the very top floor in an area that they were calling it was sort of a gaming museum. Pretty much just like video games throughout the years. They had So they had everything from the Apple II to the Famicom to the N64 to the PlayStations, the entire PlayStation line, pinball, all of that stuff all set up for free play. I played a game of Team Fortress 2 LAN, which I had never done before. I've never really played Team Fortress 2 before, so that was an interesting experience for me. What else was there? There was a Sailor Moon game that I couldn't quite get to figure out because it was a controller that I am very much not familiar with. I'll beam up a photo on the screen for you. My dad and I played a game of Overcooked, and he completely understood the general concept of the game. So that was interesting. We played Overcooked the way it was meant to be played. I passed by a person playing some sort of a Yoshi Safari game that I'm not familiar with. They had an entire aisle dedicated to fighting games, an entire aisle dedicated to rhythm games. There was a stand selling replacement parts for all sorts of pinball machines and all of that stuff. That was interesting. They had a Super Smash Brothers amiibo tournament that was running. There were a bunch of people showcasing games that they had made for retro consoles. It is amazing to see that is a thing. I absolutely love that concept. The fact that people are, there's people in 2025 still making games for the NES. And I think that's pretty cool. I got a pin out of that. Bit for that room. And then right next door there was the vendor hall, which had more games for sale than I could ever have dreamed to see. It took a lot of restraint to not spend a lot of money in this vendor hall because I am about to be paying college admissions deposits. But yeah, this vendor hall had everything from limited edition consoles that weren't being made anymore, t-shirts, sculptures. I found a CD for the original soundtrack from the Pokemon animes. There was a Creeper mini fridge on sale. I stopped by Songbird Ocarina's booth and got to chat with Goosephone and Ocarina Owl. Go and subscribe to them. They're pretty cool people. All sorts of plushies being sold. A bunch of keychains that I saw. A lot of miniatures, a lot of pins, a lot of, again, like I said, a lot of plushies. There were a few different movie cars that were on display. And then, of course, the Artist Alley, which I will admit I didn't spend much time in the Artist Alley. I mostly just walked up that row, observing the art. I was being antisocial. I was a little bit drained, so I needed a little bit of a break after that. And it was actually during my lunch break that I got one of my first street passes of the day. I had brought my 3DS with me and had it sitting in my bag in sleep mode, and I was hoping to get some street passes. Fortunately, I got the 10 street passes to fill up my line. After that, I spent a brief amount of time by the MGC main stage. I am not familiar with the person that was performing. I'll go and look them up later. But they were pretty good. They were doing guitar covers of a bunch of retro game soundtracks and stuff like that. A little bit down the hall, there was a group of people that was playing Tetris. They were playing Tetris. It was a little bit impressive. All right. After that, I stopped by the Built experience, where I had the opportunity to go and witness the creature that is Ginger of Oz's PlayStation, and the Wii Boy Color as well. I actually played Mario Kart on the Wii Boy Color. That was a pretty cool experience, honestly. It's honestly quite impressive seeing what console modders get up to. It's awesome. There was a Nintendo museum. I played Star Fox for the first time there. A lot of firsts in this video. They had a prop from a Legend of Zelda trailer on display. They had Cursed Halo Land. That was fascinating to watch. My dad played a bunch of Atari games. I played an emulated version of Space War, which is considered to be one of the earliest video games. I also played a lot of GameCube games. I only briefly owned a Wii. I plan to get one again at some point, but I haven't really played many Wii games, and I haven't really played many GameCube games, so I took this opportunity when I could to try Mario Kart Double Dash and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. They're pretty good games. I'm very happy to say that the only purchase that I made was an amiibo that has been on my wish list for a very long time. I'll go and beam that up on the screen right now. There were a lot of plushies on sale on the lower levels as well. I found a DJ KK Slider plush and a whole bunch of used games. That was intense, a little bit overwhelming. For those of you that are up in arms about the price of the new Mario Kart game, I found a copy of Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo that had a $99 price tag, pre-owned, as well as a $999 copy of Pokemon Soul Silver. I think that's it in terms of everything I did that day. Pretty good event. I liked it. Hey, thanks for watching to the end. If you like this kind of content, feel free to let me know in the comments, and also subscribe to my joint channel that I'm running with one of my friends. It's called Artsy and Otherwise. It's linked in the description, along with all of the other artists and game developers whose work I enjoyed at this event. Here on this channel, I primarily do music, so if you like video game music or music inspired by video game music, feel free to go and click that subscribe button and yeah, that's all I got. Join our Discord in the description of this video if you want to get in touch with me or any other members of the community. Other than that, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching.